All right, we're back. We have had a week of time between the last session, and you've accomplished some things. What did you make something cool?
I did. I made this amazing ring that is hopefully gonna, if we encounter anything, hopefully it will make it run away.
Ooh.
It's gonna be awesome.
Cool.
I haven't tested it yet, so we'll see. And we learned some stuff too.
Yeah, we did some research together on Menthica and sort of ways to infiltrate her tower. We got a bit of a lay of the land with my astral spirit form scouting out, but we also found out that there's a guardian creature called the Omarius, and it's a giant snail creature, and I wasn't able to see it in the tower, so that's a little alarming to me, but at least we know a little more about what we're up against.
Giant snow creature, and I'm sure that's going to be totally copacetic.
And we will get back to that in 1 second. But first, you guys also meditated and got some new incantations too. Anything cool?
I have the Fires of Nostalgia Burn Bright, which is an incantation that gives me extra bene on all my actions while I'm holding my Shadow Memento, which is an obsidian dagger.
Very cool.
Nice.
I have Fighting for a Presaged Future. I may have pronounced that incorrectly. But basically, I take a suit deck that I just purchased, and I toss it in the air. It takes on a humanoid form and tries to strangle someone. So
That's delightful.
Yeah.
I got the Revealing Gaze of God. It causes a wall, floor, or ceiling to become permanently transparent, which I feel like will mostly be used as a spiteful action. Right? I'm very excited.
I have Find the Cracks in Selfishness, which is a bit of a thieving spell, which is exciting, thieving incantation. And the other reflection is the Real You, which is that I attack foils because I have, they see me where I'm not actually standing. So that's going to be, I'm very excited about that.
Cool. You foil attacks.
I foil attacks, yes.
Cool. All right. Just gave me a new idea for a new incantation where you attack foils. So, you guys are after a week is over, gathering together, and you have something particularly of interest to share because you got a note.
A note
pinned to your door last night.
Oh gosh!
And this note it says, "I'm willing to forgive you for what you did. I know you've been casing Gamrose Tower.
Oh.
I want in on whatever you're doing."
Oh, no!
And it's signed, Kendon.
Kendon
Kendon
is the thief that Seru and I did research
Oh,
on.
no!
The one with the eyes. Did we tell you about that, what we learned? Which is essentially that she has this ability, every time she thwarts, steals, or somehow lies, she basically revs up her power, which we see the numbers, and when she activates it, apparently, then she starts throwing off duplicates, higher, more powerful.
And she knows where we live, so that's great.
She knows where you live.
Hey.
Not me. My heart's is always fine.
She knows you're the weak link.
Oh, darn it. That's true. Okay, is there...
So, what are your thoughts? Since you've got this note and probably been thinking about it for the last few hours.
I probably have. Do we meet up at our usual haunt?
Yes.
Our coffee shop bar location?
Yeah.
Of course, you call it a haunt.
We call it a haunt. So I'll bring in the letter. Have I been able to ascertain whether she's lied in the letter too? Now I'm paranoid that I'm looking for, now that I know she powers herself through lies, but it seems like it's just the request of, I want in on this.
If we just choose to disbelieve that she will forgive us, then maybe she won't take us in by the lie, and we can still let her in. And, she could be very helpful.
Okay, well, we'll keep an eye out for her. Did you find anything out about where she usually operates, or...?
No, just that she operates in the area. People she's known, but we didn't get any more information than that. She's wily.
Okay.
We did a lot of damage to her. I really can't believe she wants to work with us.
Yeah. I don't think she wants to forgive us.
Interesting, though.
Could be useful to have someone else to help deflect the bad attention we're likely to get when we start breaking into a ever-dying god's tower.
We'd spend so much power containing her, though, which is sort of exciting.
That's true.
Oh, do you think she'll turn on us at the wrong
Oh
moment?
my gosh,
I think we should turn on her.
Yes,
Let's make her
that's
our fall guy, right?
I am 100% in on this.
I don't know how to do it, but that's what my heart desires.
Well, after you spent a couple of days
Yeah.
talking to authorities and whatnot about her, and you probably didn't get the exact amount, but there's almost certainly a reward for
I relate this.
How's your cage looking?
If we can get her while she's still 1, okay. But as we learned, actually, when she was like, I got 3 or 2, I don't remember which one I got, but they started duplicating outside my cage. So
Right.
that was not good. Not expected.
Can you have more than one cage?
Not currently.
Okay.
As I increase my power, I could cage more than one at a time.
I should have known you couldn't do that yet.
I walked into that one, didn't I?
So
No, it's okay. It's okay.
He'll get me back. He always does.
I don't understand why you two always banter like that.
We like it.
I think we do, yeah. What else are you going to talk about?
There's some great banter over at the Order of Honed Thought. Why don't we ever meet there? Let's see.
I think Seru likes to go there with you. I don't want to take that from him.
What? Hey, I'm
It's
just
to our
having
special
brunch
relationship.
here. I'm gonna eat my scone.
Okay, well, let's keep incubating on ways we can keep this thief as a tool for us, or at least out of our business.
I could try to summon an entity to go and try and spy on her and see what she's actually up to.
Whoa.
Maybe that would, there's no guarantee that I'll actually have success, but I could at least put a feeler out to see what's going on.
That would be interesting. It would also let us know how to contact her if we
Right.
decide to go with this.
All right.
Because otherwise we just stick a note to your door that says, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. The tried and true messaging system. Is it more valuable for us to send that spy to spy on the thief, or do we want to just keep getting more? Do you think your a summoned entity could get us more information about how to
I do too.
safely get into this? Oh,
I could send a different spy to the tower.
well, I like that.
Yeah, that
All right,
sounds
I'll do
interesting.
both. I will try to, when we break from brunch, finish up our, after I have finished this champagne that I'm drinking for breakfast.
Nice.
After I clear my head from that a little, I will, I guess, head back to my house, and we'll meet again tomorrow, and I can tell you guys, or maybe later this afternoon, I can tell you what I've learned.
Okay.
That sounds good.
So we will start the day with a misremembered dream, which is only a 1, but it is enhancing the Mysteries family, as well as blue magic.
Actually, if someone would like to come with me just to deal with one of these creatures in case it gets out of hand, I wouldn't mind that.
I'll go with you.
Okay.
I would probably end up turning up wherever you are anyway.
You seem to turn up well.
Cool. And so remind us, Savion's house is it's a large
It's a large haunted house.
haunted house, right? It's kind of a little bit ramshackle.
Yeah.
Cobwebs probably here and there. Yeah, go so far as to have the sheets kind of covering some of the
think so.
furniture and
It's a
some of
large
the
house.
rooms.
It's
And
kinda-
It's a classic decor, the sheets.
It's really too big for me, and why change a good thing? I think.
cool. Okay.
But I do have a room that I like to cast my circles in, and so I will scribe a protective circle,
Right.
and I'll scribe one so it will actually hold the creature I attempt. Because first I'm going to try a demon.
Okay.
And basically I can go up to, I guess I can add, what level of creature can I actually get? Up to level 3. All right. So I'm going to try a level 3 creature.
Okay. And so you're gonna you want it to spy,
Yes.
and as a first degree Goetic, how long a mission can you give a
About an
creature?
hour.
About an hour. Okay. That means that you want to be somewhere where it can, in theory, get to the place it's going to spy on, hopefully, in an hour, and get back here and report.
Okay.
It's if she operates in Fartown and you're going to send a demon to look for her, if she's relatively close, that's doable. if you want someone to scout out Gamrose Tower, you're almost certainly going to have to go to that district.
Okay. All right. Maybe we'll do that after this. Okay. You're there. All right. So first we'll try the demon.
Okay.
Spend the sorcery.
Okay. You're getting to level 3?
Yeah.
Okay. And so appearing within your circle, there's this horrible... First of all, there's just this horrible stench. And then appearing in your circle is this creature only about 4 feet tall. Doesn't really have... It's humanoid in form, but it doesn't really have a head so much to speak of, as it just has a hole where its neck would be in this horrible, almost sphincter-like maw. Oh. And it's got long, spindly arms, and it makes this horrible kind of screeching noise.
All right. Well, as a Goetic, I can speak with spirits. I also have a complex tongue, which will allow me to... I'm not going to use it right now.
Okay.
Because I also am persuasive, and so I'll just get right down to business, and I'll try and persuade this entity to spy on my behalf.
Okay, so you're just going to try to convince it to work with you. You're not going to offer it a bribe or anything like that?
I will also offer it a bribe.
Oh, okay.
Because, it's probably the persuasion, and I'll try and... Basically, so when I look at it, is there anything I can tell, I have a connection with demons. Is there something I can tell right off the bat that I might be able to think about this creature and say, oh, it would like X as opposed to Y?
Well, so you know that demons, particularly low-level demons, are not very intelligent. And you know that they don't have to eat, but they like to eat. And what they like to eat is raw meat.
Okay, so I pull the little cart that I had set aside. It has a bunch of non-cooked, sausages. And I say, all this could be yours. If you help me spy upon this entity named this Kendon. And I will describe the thief, where she goes, and I would like it to, let me know what she's up to.
Okay. So
I suppose I speak in that same language back to it.
Yeah, but you don't have to. You don't have to use its inflection, because it really, when it's going, what it's saying is it's not very smart.
I don't know how good this is spying.
You need to make basically 3 successful interactions with it as your colloquy to get it to agree to do this. However, I know that you've got a connection with demons, and you're very persuasive.
Yep, so I have a venture of 4 right off the bat.
You're not even going to need to make rolls to get this thing to work with you, particularly because you've offered it a bribe, which it very much wants.
All right, I'll give it 1 now and the rest later.
Okay. I'm not even going to describe what it looks like as it eats this raw sausage thing that you give it. But it's pretty horrific. But nothing goes awry, and it runs out of your house. Which is
possibly go wrong.
It's probably the kind of thing that your neighbors are used to seeing. Weird little demons running out of your house.
To my neighbors.
All right. Are you just going to wait then? You know that it has to be back within an hour.
Yeah, I'll eat some sausage.
We'll just keep having drinks.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Have a little barbecue.
So, about an hour passes, and when it returns, it looks at the pile of sausages. It comes back in, comes into your room, and it gobbles them down disgustingly. And then it says, it points at you with its long spindly finger, and it says, "Outside Cicatrix house." And then it disappears.
Okay.
Oh, no. We're just having drinks and oblivious.
Yeah, we're having a great time. We're having a lovely morning.
Presumably we made some sort of plan to get together again.
I think we were just going to wait for you at the...
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you said it only took an hour. I'm sure it'll be a little longer. But...
We'll head back.
Okay. You rejoin them at the nearby cafe. which we already established is in your neighborhood. And they've had a couple more mimosas.
Oh, yeah. So how did it go?
Well, the Mathicus Tower is a little too far for us to spy from, but we'll have to get closer. Unfortunately, though, Kenden is outside your house right now.
Outside my house?
Yes, apparently waiting.
Waiting.
Or spying on her own, perhaps.
I wonder if she's been there the whole time. Like if you just walked right by her and didn't see her. I know,
that's my meditation chamber. That's my... Should we capture her? Does she know?
Well...
And then you hear a voice from the next table over, putting down a newspaper. You see that she's standing there. Remember, she's tall, kind of muscular, short, dark hair, big glasses, and these glasses each say 2.
Oh.
And she says, "I can be many places."
I roll.
She rolled a 2.
Yeah. We'll come have a mimosa if we're going to be meeting.
Okay.
May as well do it proper.
She comes over and joins you. Brings her mimosa with her that she already has.
This place must be known for mimosas.
The best mimosa.
The mimosa bar.
And you probably notice that when she takes a seat, she seems to kind of be very deliberately sitting closer to either one of you two and as far away as she can from either of you two.
Smart.
Checks out.
Like a better hour.
She says, "All right, so what's in Gamrose Tower that you are so interested in?"
Why are you interested in going into Gamrose's Tower first?
Because you are.
We're really flattered that you have such an interest in us, but I'm not quite sure what brought this on.
She says, "All right, I'll be honest. I'm assuming that you're interested in Kensington's." And you remember when you scoped out the sort of the middle portion of that is a business that it has its main office in Gamrose Tower, and it's a business that it kind of arbitrates and facilitates transactions. Basically, like if you are doing business with someone, maybe making a trade, selling an item that you've made or something, and you're dealing with stuff that's dangerous and whatnot, and you don't fully trust the other party, you use them as a way to mediate and make sure that no one gets cheated, right?
Yeah.
So it's the kind of thing that like Vizsla, maybe even in particular makers use if they're selling, some object of power that they've just created, or you're going to cast a spell for someone or whatever. So that's the kind of business it is, and she says that I'm assuming that's what you're interested in is Kensington's. That's the only thing that's got anything worth stealing in Gamrose Tower.
Actually, that's not our interest. So I don't know if you going with us would actually help you out at all.
So what is then? What's better than that?
We just need to speak with someone there.
There's a lot of important people at Gamrose Tower, as you might know.
So why were you scouting out all the businesses?
There's the businesses are on the first floors. I sequentially case the joint,
so to speak.
She says, "Not sure I'm buying this. Why are you scouting this place out if there's just someone you want to go visit?"
What do you even bring to the table?
I'm a master thief.
You
want in somewhere, you need my help.
I'm not sure that yesterday or last week convinced us of that.
She got away.
We let her get away.
Oh.
I say with her sitting there.
She says, "If you don't want my help."
We didn't say that. I
whatever
asked
you
what
want.
your help was.
And she says, you saw that I was able to obtain something of value. Just because you were able to take it from me doesn't mean I can't obtain more.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good point. She's a thief. She's not, a fighter person necessarily. She's got her skills in her area of expertise.
The only reason I'm here talking to you is because you clearly showed me that you also are people of consequence.
That's true.
And that's
why don't you take my card for future reference? I can be found at the Order of the Hone Thought.
Order of Hone Thought, Jules. which is a very weird gesture, very weird thing because you see the two numbers go around.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh. Well, if you're willing to, understand that we would probably treat you the same way we treated you last time we saw you. If you turn on us, then that has to be part of our agreement. We're not gonna. I'm happy to work with you.
I know what you're capable of. I may have taken some steps to make myself a little bit less vulnerable to what I know you're capable of.
That's reassuring.
Well, maybe we can come to some sort of very limited agreement. We are not interested in stealing anything from Kensington's. We are interested in getting into the tower. Perhaps once we get in, we can help each other, and we can part ways.
Right, I'm already banned from the libraries. I'm not willing to be banned from Kensington's Jew.
Well, if we do our jobs correctly, no one will even know.
I like the sound of that.
That is better. So what do you got in mind?
She says, well, I know that I know a few things about the security of the building. I know that, well, first of all, you don't want to go to the top. That place,
no.
that's pretty much just off limits. There's a creature, a powerful magical creature that guards the, I don't know if you believe this or not. I've heard that there's a goddess up there. Anyway, she's got some kind of strange magical creature from another realm guarding her. It's got the ability to reflect magic back at people. It's got the ability to warp people's minds. It's dangerous. You don't want to go there. And in fact, most of the top of the tower, that's apartments, people like that. Maybe there's something up there worth getting into. I don't know. But the businesses in the lower 3 floors, or rather the first 3 floors that are occupied, of course the bottom is all just invisible stairways. Once we get up there, that's getting into that part of the building isn't difficult. Each one of the businesses has its own specific wards and protections. And of course you need a special key to get up above the businesses into the levels where the residential levels. So if that's what you're interested in, maybe we can work together, because I imagine that there's probably a key in most of the businesses, because most of the businesses probably have one or more people who also live there.
That's a good point.
What if we did want to see this goddess?
While we're up there, I mean.
I've never seen a goddess before, or god for that matter.
So
I'm just curious.
Magical tourists?
Doesn't sound so bad when I say it aloud.
Well, then we'd have to deal with this creature. It's called Omarius. I would think the best bet would be to distract it away from the top of the tower. Get it out of the top of the tower somehow. You need that key to work the elevator and to get to the residential levels, and you'd need it to come down somehow. Otherwise, it's just gonna melt your mind.
Savion, maybe you could conjure a demon to lure it away.
Are we talking about this? Is that what you want? Do you want to get up to where the goddess is? Does she have anything good?
As a master thief, you ought to know the places where no one can reach must be the places that have the most to gain from.
What's up there? Knowledge. You can sell knowledge.
I'm dubious, but I'm willing to.
So,
Keyword. I can't actually tell you that.
Yeah, I know.
you're good with contracts.
Yeah,
Are there any magical ways we might be able to enter into an agreement amongst ourselves that have real consequences for Kendra? This is Darcy asking the GM. What kind of...
There are some specific
question.
spells and rituals that
we're doing
can
this, I
do
want-
that, but
It might be high grade.
But
Yeah.
Kensington would have to do them for us,
You're totally right.
which is a great opportunity to case the place.
That's not a bad idea. I assume they have some pretty strict privacy agreements.
yeah, one would assume for sure.
Does that seem reasonable? Let's go get a contract to enter into a heist of the place.
seems a little potentially difficult. I do like your idea, though. I do like the idea of getting such a contract.
So remember, you're sitting there with her.
Right.
Yeah, I'm happy that she knows that.
Yeah,
We don't trust
I
each
don't
other,
think
and we
that's-
shouldn't trust each other yet.
I say, but we could just enter into a bargain, and if one of us breaks it, then we know what the future. We know that in the
Look,
future. we can't-
I'm fully aware that if I try to cross you, I'm going to end up in your little cage thing, or you're going to rip into my mind and make me see horrific
It's
things.
much more delicate than that.
Whatever.
I'm glad that she's not mentioning the fact that I made her think that she was on fire. Or that you made her think she was on fire.
holding something that was on fire.
There you go.
Do I feel like she's lying to us? Do I feel like she? Can I like take a look at her body language and see if she's really holding something back and pulling one over on us, or do I feel like she's being as truthful? I mean, I don't see her eyes going up, so
Right.
that tends to be a good indicator of she's just told a lie or something, right?
Right.
Except,
Good point.
is it? Do we know it's always like that one isn't actually somewhere who's like? Can one go to 3? Did we figure out that she can only go from 2 to 3?
She hasn't.
Like, do you see what I'm saying?
Oh, so you're saying she's already split? Yeah, I guess she didn't. Her power doesn't work exactly like I thought.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
But for body language or something, does it?
You could attempt a roll to determine if there's anything that you can tell from that. Although you do think that it is reasonable to think that she has the biggest tell that
Which is kind of awesome.
That's true.
I have a level in understanding people's motives too.
Oh,
that
which
would
might be
be
useful.
And I have a level in seeing through deception.
okay. Those would be appropriate skills to bring to bear if you want to take those actions.
Yes, please. And I'm enhanced right now because I am mysteries.
Oh,
okay.
Oh,
So
nice.
Venture 2.
Great.
I have a 1.
You're not sure. You're not seeing any indications of deception, but you're not positive. She seems to be kind of a cool customer as far as that goes.
Okay.
Well, I don't love it, but I think it's our best way in. So let's see how this goes.
So what's the plan? She says, and we move into the forbidden game.
Of course.
And now we are enhancing notions and blue magic, which is anything dealing with the mind.
That's me. So.
I think we should be plotting at one of our houses.
Rather than in public.
I mean,
that's
I'm
brilliant.
willing to talk about only so much criminal activity over mimosas.
That is very smart.
Okay.
Sure,
Well,
knows where you live. How about we go
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Is that a bad?
That's fine. Let's go sit cross-legged in my big meditation chamber with papers sort of spread out before us.
Okay.
So, sorry, go ahead.
That's where you are.
Yeah.
So it's just if I remember correctly, it's just a big crystal sphere.
I was thinking it was a hemisphere.
Hemisphere,
There's
okay.
been a hemisphere plane put in to sit on for
Understood.
just such an
Nice.
occasion.
Okay. So she
Interesting house you got here.
looks a little
Thank you.
disdainfully around.
She's Such a brat. All right, so we know that we need to figure out the invisible stairway. Mm-hmm. We have the snail beast from another realm, which we don't know what realm, right? Correct?
Right.
Did you guys
Distracted away, yeah.
Who might be distracted away, but if its whole job is to protect the goddess, I think that seems difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Kindred says, well, then we have to make it think that the best way to protect the goddess
is
is
to distract it away.
Get somewhere else, right?
Right. Okay. And we need a key.
Kendrin, and actually, since I scoped out the place, does it seem like we won't really have trouble getting up the invisible staircase if we say we have business at one of those businesses? Or is it kind of locked down there, too?
No, it should be easy to get if we're going to go during the day. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that's the wisest move, but all the business floors should be accessible to us.
We could go during the day and then at some point just kind of sneak off into the shadows. Just go under the radar, perhaps. How's that sound?
You've cased the place. Do you know of a place where we can hide?
I think so, but it's possible that there's, I don't know their security patterns so well. So, but I imagine there's a storage closet or something like that.
You found a couple of places like that.
Yeah. I like that idea because I'm nervous that there won't be keys. I wonder if it'll be easier to get to the key when it is during the day, when we can at least be in those businesses.
Right, that's a start.
Are there any other businesses or any businesses that would suit our interests? Like, would we have a reasonable excuse to visit them?
There's a law firm, the offices of a shipping company, places like that.
Kensington's is the closest we would even have interest in.
Yeah.
I think so.
We could say that we're, going there for some, high-end buyer that you're courting, right?
Right. I'm assuming that's the kind of place where you have to walk in with an arrangement already set. They're not like a auction house where you walk in and be like, I want to find a buyer, I want to find a seller, right? So we would need to...
But it could be information gathering,
True.
Right? Like we want to consult whether we trust Kensington's with our valuable business. True. Like walk us through. Could we get in?
Or maybe you're selling something to me, Kendon says.
That seems like the smart way to go.
Good call.
Yeah, let's do that.
What knowledge do you bring about Kensington's and getting that key? Do you think you suspect that there are some keys up there, but do you have any ideas about how we isolate where one might be or who has it?
Well, again, you've kind of looked around up there probably more firsthand than I have. But I imagine it's not a particularly large place. Mm-hmm. They just need an office or two and a vault.
A vault. Well, we also have wicked keys. A few of us probably that as a backup, right? I don't want to plan for that because who knows? But as a backup, that might get us through the door in case the plan goes awry.
Okay, so we go in. We're to broker this transaction. We get a key. We hide in one of those little spots until night, and then what's our distraction for the guardian creature?
Right. It would actually be useful to know more, what realm it comes from. Right. Although maybe not. I don't know.
Well, if it's from another realm, at least I have an incantation that will allow me to gain a slight advantage when trying to convince it of something.
Oh, nice.
Called Complex Tongue.
Oh, that is helpful.
Assuming it talks.
We could bring in... My idea of a distraction is very explodey and things. But I don't know that that's the best way to target it toward, we are coming after the goddess, and therefore the guardian must come down. How do we...
If we could convince it that the guardian is leaving the tower, then it would presumably follow the goddess. And then,
right.
So someone
can the goddess leave? I don't know how smart this thing is.
I don't know.
All right.
Maybe we could do a little more research on the guardian creature, because...
That's
true. We know its name and that it's a snail.
We had done some research on
right.
the woman. Do we feel like it would be there is more to find out about that guardian, or do we kind of feel like we hit the...
Without really spending a ton of time or getting really lucky, it seems like this is a pretty weird, obscure creature.
So we might just have to cage it.
Yeah, I think we might just have to play it by ear and on the scene, as we like to do.
Apparently. All right, so I feel like we have a horrible plan, but it's the only plan we have, so we might just have to go.
One more element I'd like to add is when we're hanging out, hiding in the night, I can send my spirit form up the levels, and maybe I can at least get... I would love to get a glimpse of this creature before we interact with it. And if it's so powerful, maybe it will see me in my spirit form, and maybe that could be the distraction, right? It's not good, but...
We haven't even talked about the fact that we have no idea if the goddess is even someone we can interact with at all, right? I mean, an ever-dying god is...
The only way to know is to
go see.
Face-to-face.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe the raven amulets will have some sort of clue that'll pop up.
Yeah. We're trying to talk to her because we're trying to find...
Right. We should check those. Like, put them together and see if, like, something happens that's new or...
Yeah, so we've had we have our raven amulets. Should we
let's put them together and just see if anything happens.
They all come together, all 4 of the ravens meshing together into a single sort of form and scene, but it doesn't seem to be any different than before.
I thought maybe it was a map or a compass or something, but...
It's a good point that we haven't really figured out this combinations function yet.
Okay.
I assume Kendra looks baffled at that?
She looks interested, but then dismissive.
Okay.
Man.
If we were to use the kindle the item, the ephemera that has that, would that be the end of that ability, that thing, or would it stay around, do you think? I haven't used mine, so...
You think that you can use that ability and still make this a part of the larger...
Okay. Yeah, because I actually used mine yesterday, I think.
Oh.
Can tell us a little bit about your skills, tiny bit more about your skill set, so that we know how to best position you in this plan.
I'm good at not being seen. I can be in more than one place at once.
Yeah.
I'm very good with locks.
So I feel like you're our key person to get the key and then, get us up there. That feels pretty good. I suppose we're going to have to help you with the Kensington's part in order to get you to help us with the goddess part.
I've done a little research. There's some interesting things in Kensington's right now. Definitely worth the time, maybe getting that vault open, but also a little intrigued as to what you think you might find up top.
All right.
So would it be possible for us to arrange this meeting where you're going to sell something to her, and then while you're there, you could use your special power to duplicate yourself and perhaps sneak off and get the key, but leaving a version of yourself there to handle the transaction?
Possible. But I also like the hide and wait until night plan too. It's going to be I think it's going to be easier getting the key when there isn't anyone in the office.
Okay.
All right, let's do it.
That sounds straightforward.
Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong?
I'm sure we're prepared for this.
Okay, so she recommends going as late in the day as possible so that there's less time you have to worry about it.
Okay.
We've moved into the dangerous elixir, which is enhancing indigo magic having to do with truth and information, and it is the Notions family that is enhanced here.
All right. Is there anything we want to do with the rest of our day?
I took an hour rest just to get my sorcery back.
Are you going to summon a demon or an angel?
Not right now. Maybe once before we move out, because I only have them around for about an hour.
Okay. And are you going to use that for guarding or something else?
Once we are ready to move, I'll probably use it for guarding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So it's a quick trip probably via the Saturnine rail to get to Gamrose Tower. You can see that, while it's surrounded by angular structures of stone, metal, and glass, Gamrose Tower rises up toward the indigo sun. Its front face is marred by the torrent of what appears to be blood running down like a never-healing scar. Mist seeps into this district most of the time from that strange area off of Saturnine called the Abstraction. And this mist cloaks around the fountain that the blood pours down into. You're not really sure where the blood goes from there. But people walk around this fountain through this mist as though this were perfectly normal. Maybe in Saturnine it is.
I would like to pause at the fountain and just kind of let my Weaver awareness flow over this, because one, I have a level in understanding, quantifying, or identifying magic that lies outside of codified magical practices, and two, one of my Weaver aggregates is blood.
Right.
So
That's a great point.
Right. So yeah, you definitely feel an affinity to this. And you think that, in fact, that there is magical power in this liquid. It isn't blood like human blood. It is a very different sort of substance. In fact, you're guessing that maybe some people tell themselves it's not actually blood, but you know that it is. That it's the blood of the goddess. You think that while there's power here, there's much more power at way up high. Like, it loses power as it drops down, but it still has some power, and so it does make you wonder, clearly it's draining off somewhere. What's going on with that?
All right.
Interesting.
Someone's got a nice little situation going on. I wonder if you can use your blood power at some point just to plant a seed in your mind to create a, since this is the blood of the goddess and the demon is trying to protect goddess, maybe there's something you could create with the blood that would serve as a distraction.
Homunculus kind of
Yeah.
But I don't know.
That's a good idea.
Interesting idea. I think I could do something like that.
Can we take some of this blood, or is that...
Is that
It's sort of situated so that there's an angled sort of lip around it. I mean, you'd have to, unless you had some kind of magical levitation or climbed down into the deepest of this fountain, it would be difficult.
Very gauche.
You certainly don't see anyone else trying that.
I don't think we need to do that.
We'll get that on the way out. Successfully.
if I had a bucket, I could telekinetically
oh, really?
get us a sample, yes.
Something tells me there will be no shortage of blood by the time we're done with this experience.
Yeah, we're going higher, so maybe we'll find better blood.
Okay. You walk up these invisible staircases.
Do we become invisible?
No.
Do we think? Okay.
No. In
So
fact,
you see the people.
During the day, while there's things going on, you do see people walking up and down, and there are a number of these staircases, and so you see people walking up and down. It is sort of unnerving and weird because you're walking, you can't see the steps. There's a fountain of blood pouring down next to you, but eventually you come up into sort of what seems like a more normal office building kind of level. There's a man at a receptionist desk sitting there. There's a big placard behind him showing the different businesses. Looks like there's 3 different levels on which there are businesses, and then the floors above that are all residential.
Look for Kensington's.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is. It's on the what they call level 3.
Okay. There's a elevator, stairs, both?
Both.
Should we split up?
Not just yet.
Okay. Don't split up yet.
I would like to direct us, since I've cased these floors before, where we pass some of the places that I was thinking we could hide.
Oh, nice.
So to the extent that we can all see it.
Super smart.
And remember to get back here.
Smart.
You might want to take the stairs then, because
Okay.
the best hiding place is on the second level.
Okay.
Okay.
There's a off of a public restroom next to it. There's a big storeroom that you walked through spiritually, and
Yep.
It seemed kind of out of the way and dark. And
Great.
All right.
Seems perfect.
Are we getting any weird looks, or this is still...
the receptionist looks at you like he has that I would like to be helpful look on his face. But he doesn't.
We just look like we know where we're going.
Yeah,
So.
which we do.
All right.
Yeah.
You can just walk right by him, go to the stairs of the elevator. Sounds like the stairs maybe, so that you
it's
can
two
go up
stairs.
to kind of see on level 2 where you want to hide out, and then go up to level 3. Kensington's has a corner office. It has an outer door that clearly locks, and inside there is an office. There's a man sitting at a desk with a lot of papers. There's a woman behind kind of a counter, and behind her there is a doorway leading off into some other place that you can't see. And there's some looks like plaques or awards of like business trustworthiness and things like that hanging behind her, and she says, "Welcome to Kensington's. How can we help you?"
Are we with Kendall 2 at this point? Kendall 2?
Her glasses say 2.
Okay. We're interested in finalizing a transaction.
Excellent. Let me just get some forms. What kind of transaction is it?
Did we decide that?
You're going to make her something.
Oh, right, a maker transaction.
I see. Okay, so and you're the maker?
I am.
She says, looking at your order symbol. All right. I'll just need you to fill out these forms. And she looks at Kendall. You're the buyer, and yes. And she gives her some forms. It's rather thorough in the and looking for the type of item that you're making and things of that nature.
Okay.
And so you filled that form out?
I do, and I'm going to, I should have thought a little bit about what awesomeness to pretend to make her. I'm gonna, because I'm not actually making it, I'm gonna make this whole thing about protecting her mind. And it's protective.
So here's the interesting thing. You're filling out the form and you're able to write your name and your address and all that things. But as soon as you start writing the thing that isn't true on there, you just can't get
I'm gonna
any
have to make
marks
her
on the
an
paper.
actual thing. Well, I don't want to make her that for real. I think that I will make.
Well, just some really good sunglasses.
I think I'll actually make something that helps the thieving. That helps her thieving, because I would make that for Kendon and not feel like I was hurting us in the process, right?
And you make leather and metal?
I do leather and metal, yeah. So
you
this
can
would be
make, like, gloves?
Sure, yeah. Let's do that.
Kindled gloves or something like that?
That sounds perfect. And I will really make that.
Okay. So she's sitting there next to you filling out forms, and when she sees that you can't write anything, and then you actually start writing and the words are appearing in the form, she kind of looks over and she kind of smiles.
Oh!
And she fills out all of her information.
Now you guys just have to agree upon a price.
Yeah, what does she write? I don't know. What does she write for a price?
She puts a mage coin down.
I like her a little bit.
That's good.
All right.
Okay.
I'm definitely warming to her over this experience.
And to be fair, the worst she did to us directly was she punched you in the face.
She did punch you in the face.
She hasn't tried to set any of us on fire or cast a murder spell.
She lied and lied and lied and
broke my
lied.
People lie all the time. You just gotta get over it.
Thank you for fixing that, by the way.
She broke your cage because you set her on fire and she panicked and threw her in the air. She was not being vindictive.
Fair enough.
So basically, the forms and the woman behind the counter will help you fill this part out. Basically, the way the transaction works is you deliver the item to Kensington's,
right?
And then they release the item to her. She pays the money to them, and they release the money to you. They take a small cut of the fee, but because it's a mage coin, you'll have to just pay them some orbs in.
Okay.
So they set that all up, and they ask for a date for delivery.
I mean, it's going to take a little time for that, right? A couple of weeks at least.
Okay, so you put it on a couple of weeks. Okay, that's all kosher. You fill out all these forms.
Okay, great.
And you also notice that Kendall is carefully looking around during all of this, looking at it with careful eyes. Do those of you not filling out forms want to do anything during all of this?
I'd like to look around, but I don't know that there's anything very super fancy that I can do. But I just want to be noting the people who are in here, noting if there's like where employees tend to go. Like, is there sort of general fact finding, right? I'm a little bit good at like searching and stealth, so hopefully I can mask my own casing the joint.
Okay. So at one point, this is probably clearly the last thing that they're going to do before they close up for the afternoon. The guy gets up and he moves from his desk over to he goes behind the counter. There's like just a little thing that he lifts up so that he can move behind the counter, and then closes it behind it, and then he goes to the door and that I mentioned, and he takes a key out.
Okay.
But what I'd like you to do as you're watching all of this is make a roll for the perception of it, what you're seeing.
I'm certain that my searching can apply. I don't know if my stealth can. It's probably just keeping me from being too obvious.
You know what? They make 2 rolls, one for each of those things.
Okay.
And then the better you make the stealth roll first.
Okay.
Because the better you do on the stealth, the closer you can sort of get
Cool.
some
Nice.
details.
Would Benny for that come from movement?
For stealth is movement.
Okay.
Yes.
If you're close to me, you get another
Right.
+1.
Yeah,
Close.
and we're just sort of affiliates of them.
Yeah.
So.
It's tight quarters, so you're definitely close to him.
Okay.
It's not a very big
So
office.
adventure of 2. I'm rolling my Benny for no good reason. So 7.
That's awesome.
Okay, so you roll a 5 and your venture is 2.
Yeah.
Okay. So what you see is
That's for the stealth.
right. Oh,
Should I
right,
roll for
right.
the perception?
Oh, so yes. I'm sorry. Yes,
Sorry.
thank you.
All right, and again, adventure of 2. I'll put that down. Only a 5.
Okay. But your stealth was good, so you're able to get pretty close. So you saw something, which is that he didn't actually produce this key like from a pocket or whatever. He got it out of a drawer in his desk.
Yes.
So you know where this key is kept.
Awesome. Thank you.
And he opens up this door, and you can see that he goes in. There's a tiny little room in there, lots of file cabinets, and then what looks like a big safe.
Yes. Okay, great.
Is there anyone else around in the office?
Just the 2 of them.
Okay. Then I won't try and chat anyone up. So, what's it like living in the tower with that dead god on top?
That's great. All right, if we've wrapped up the
Should we
files?
hide?
Okay.
All right, we thank them for their time and head out. And should we all go in there, or should we split up? And I guess we should just all go now if
Yeah,
we can.
probably.
If we think it's safe.
In the hiding place?
Yeah, it seems the
Okay.
safest.
Once you're there, Kendall says, so I don't know if you've got the senses to see it, but there is a decent magical ward over that whole place. Not surprising.
No.
Do any of you have the ability to get past things like that?
I can be hidden from divination's used to locate me, so I don't know if it tags us or... But if it's just more of a block, then I'm not sure if that will work.
I think that might be very useful,
Okay.
she says.
And one of the nice things is I think I've got a way to make that affect multiple targets. So I think I could perhaps mask 3 of us. So, yep. I can get... it's the hidden Enigan. Enigan, that makes sense.
That's actually your...
That's the Raven ability.
Right.
Yeah, but I have
Nice.
another incantation that will let me apply it to 3 of us. So which 3 should we... Or...
Oh, but that incantation, it only works on spells.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so right.
Right?
So,
Or am I wrong?
It says... you're right. It's totally only spells.
Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, that's fair. So one person can go in.
We-
By that.
Let's send her in.
Well, we might also, you are probably the most malleable in terms of what you can do.
Right, but so much magic is not really...
Yeah,
it's kind of destructive. I could take a smack at this wall, but not really anything that would get past it, I think. I mean, I'm looking at my qualities, and...
What were you using to teleport?
I would burn myself up and reconstitute it.
Okay, I don't want to do that. We're whispering in the closet. Okay.
Yeah.
We should have figured this out before.
Does Kendon have her own way in?
She says, I can try, and I'm certain that I can get into the office physically.
Okay.
I can get through their outer door. It's a good lock, but I'm pretty sure I can deal with it. I'm not sure about the inner door.
Okay.
Because that's the one that's warded, so you're saying.
No, the whole place is warded.
A ward for detection or a ward for keeping things out?
A ward for detection. That's why I think that her magic is going to be good.
So we're going to have to use...
Well, I've got a solution for your inner door. We were able to see that one of the staff members used a key in this drawer, and I described where it was sitting in that little cabinet area. And it seems like if you are able to use that key, it should get you in physically. Again, I don't know if there are additional wards, but... and I was able to spy the safe is back there, which might be of interest to you.
Interesting. All right, well, I might be able to deal with the safe.
We might just have to... I wonder if you can go in and turn off... I don't know how to undo a ward.
Right.
If there's a way to make that...
There's a wicked key to bypass it.
Yeah, but would we have to be one wicked key per person? Or could we just use the wicked key to turn the ward off, potentially?
It's mysterious magic, it's hard to say.
Yeah, wicked keys are weird,
Or we can conceptualize it. What we'd have to conceptualize is the key is unlocking
the ward, right? Which we could totally try. That seems really viable. I say, and then it all blows up.
Yeah.
Although if we're going to use a wicked key, I suppose we could just use a wicked key to unlock the door to where we're going in the first place, right? And not go into Kensington's at all. Would I say that? What is Kendon?
Right, Kendon's probably not going to like that too much.
She says, well, if you think what's at the top is better than what's in that vault, or so good that it's not worth at least checking out what's in that vault.
All right, I think...
I feel slightly bad about taking things that aren't mine, I say, and I look back at her.
As do I.
We can help you with that.
Well, then what are we doing here?
We're going to go our separate ways.
Plausible deniability.
All right, I think when it gets dark, we'll use the word.
If you guys have to use your magic to get up to the top, that's fine. I'm going into Kensington's.
Okay. Well, I think right. I think we can make this work.
Who with this raven amulet? Do we think we want to send me? Do we want to send someone else along with Kendon, or are we just gonna let Kendon handle that?
She says, I can unlock the outer door, I'm fairly certain. I think the ward is of a nature that someone should be protected against that kind of magic, sensing their presence going in. Mm-hmm. But then there should be a way once inside to deactivate that ward. Okay. So anybody could use it and go in once I get the door open.
Okay.
Do you want to be that person?
I'll be that person.
Yeah, I think that seems... All right, so,
how do I activate this raven amulet?
You just choose to activate
choose to activate. Does it flutter? It lasts, I check each hour.
Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
So it could be helpful.
Later.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
All right, okay. The wings of the raven kind of spread out while it's activated.
Nice.
All right, so I go with Kendon.
Is everyone go?
No, we can't until she turns the ward off, right?
But yeah, we can go to the edge though.
That's true.
Oh, I see.
But you go back up to you're hiding in a storeroom in level 2.
You're going to go up to level 3.
You're going to go up to level 3.
And we know where the guards are, or if they're guards or whatever. We don't
it is dark. I mean, not pitch black, but it is. The main lights are off, and we're going to draw a new card, which is Looming Shade, which is gray magic for deception and stealth and thievery.
That's lovely.
So if you've got magic that helps that, In fact, the amulet might be gray magic, right?
It is.
It might be.
Look at that.
And of course, it's also enhancing the Mysteries family.
Okay.
Great.
So, first complication is that there's a pair of cleaners up on level 3, and they are sweeping the floors and in the hallway in between all the different offices, the closed door offices. What do you do? They don't see you immediately as you come up the stairs, but you see them, and they're just talking. It's two guys, older gentlemen, and they're just kind of talking amongst themselves as they sweep dust and whatnot into a little bin.
Hide?
Back off.
Yes.
Let's go.
We're
hide out.
sneaking.
I'll
back
send
to
should we go in the storeroom and I'll send my spirit form until I see that it's clear?
Oh, smart. Let's do that.
Spy, kind of?
Okay.
That seems great.
And while she's doing that, I will actually summon a demon.
Nice.
Oh,
Describe a circle. An angel, actually. This
A
time.
really tight
Okay.
circle in this. I mean, it's a big storeroom, but there's lots of us.
Yeah, you're gonna have to move
Jesus.
cleaning supplies and whatnot to make room for your circle.
I'm glad it's an
And
angel
you're,
at least.
Okay, and you're going to go, so you'll spend the sorcery to go
Yes.
up in spirit form, but you're going to need 10, 15 minutes for your summoning, right?
Yeah.
And so you're summoning the same level of...
Level 3, yeah.
Okay. And do you have a connection to angels as well? Nice.
Well done.
Okay. So what...
I'm going to persuade the angel by saying that we're going to speak to an undying goddess who is in pain, but there's dangers along the way, and we need the protection of the angel to see what we can learn from this goddess about great information.
Okay.
Potentially even... Have you ever told us about your connection to the legacy?
I've
what
hinted that I've got something big.
And I'll look at you. You're my shadow friend. I probably know this, and I'll say, possibly even connected to the legacy.
Okay. So when the angel appears, there's sort of this shimmer of silvery light, and the angel is this looks like a 6 foot tall human man, except he has no hair. His skin is just an emerald green, and he's got these beautiful gem-like wings on his back.
Wow.
And you make a good case. You've got lots of persuasion with your venture of 4. He says, "I will do my utmost to guard you during this time."
Thank you.
That's great.
He doesn't appear to have any weapons or anything like that, but he just kind of stands next to you with arms folded.
Fantastic.
And then it costs me, I have to spend more sorcery per round. Do you know how many rounds it takes before, if I keep going?
So you just want to go
checking?
up and check?
Yeah.
Okay. It's probably going to take you maybe 3 rounds to go back and forth. You finally, it looks like level 3 is clear.
Okay, great.
I'm actually going to use a couple of ephemera while we're in the closet.
There we go. Good idea.
I'm going to drink my gold potion,
Okay.
which gives me some extra bene. And then I'm going to put on my amulet, which this is the one that emits a very soft light, and it disrupts demons, devils, vampires, and ghosts, just in case the wards and it lasts till the sun rises. So it maybe even work against our snail guy if he's one of these things.
Is this also your Raven amulet, or is that a different one?
I think this is my Raven amulet, actually. So I'm going to just wear the Raven.
Outstretched.
Do I just wear it around my neck as an amulet? So I will do that.
Okay.
And then I'm...
Any other preparations?
I will speak the incantation of the fires of nostalgia burn bright and just kind of put my hand on my obsidian dagger, so I'm enhanced a little bit.
Cool.
I'm going to take a recovery roll after I'm done with my spying, just so I get all that
Great.
fine sorcery back. Take a rest.
I'm also going to cast the other reflection is the real you.
Oh, yeah.
And then the next 2 times I'm attacked, the attacks are foiled. And just in case, and it lasts until I'm attacked. So
Great.
that's kind of awesome. All right, so
Hurry up.
What sign is that incantation?
it's gray.
Great, cool. So is
So it's
mine.
extra.
So we got lots
Fantastic.
All right. Well,
Love
that's
it.
currently enhanced. All right, the coast is clear.
Coast is clear. Let's do this. So we all scuttle back to the door, and Kendon is going to take a look at that first.
Yes, so she goes up and starts working on the lock, and she produces a number of lock picks, and she's trying each one, and it looks like it takes her some time. She wasn't kidding that it was tricky, and then she opens it up eventually with a self-satisfied look on her face, and she says, "All right." You know how to get into the next one. The lock looked worse on the next one.
All right. So I tentatively step across the border through the doorway just to make sure that sirens don't go off and that my amulet seems to be working. So it's pretty dark, but still there's enough light filtering in from the hallway that I can kind of make my way to the drawer that I saw the guy go through. And I'm being ever so careful and quiet. And I pull out that drawer. Is there just the key in there? Are there other interesting employee?
2 keys.
No.
Yay!
Are they the same?
No, they're different keys.
Do I know which one was the one he had? Or do they look pretty similar?
So this would be the time when we would call upon a roll, an action to remember, and this would be using your intellect
It would if I didn't use hidden knowledge.
Nice.
I was really on point that day. I knew that I was, when I got snuck up closer, I was trying to memorize every little bit, and so I recall perfectly that lore. It had one little notch in it that the other key doesn't have.
Okay, so you're going to use a point of hidden knowledge, and that will add 1 to your venture.
Oh, cool. Perfect. Okay, and I will also spend intellect penny.
Okay.
Let's see how this goes. I suppose I could send sortilege too. I'm nervous. The night is young. Okay, so we've got 2. So that'll be a 9 altogether.
Nice.
Because you rolled a 7.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you don't have to add them.
Okay.
And so, all right. So you definitely remember that this one key is for this back room, which is particularly well locked according to Kendrell. But the other key, you're not sure what that's to.
Still happy to take it.
Yeah.
I've already shown myself to be one of the more morally loose members of this party, so
We keep trying to keep you in check. It's just not working.
Okay.
So I hold up the key that I have it to Kendon. But
can you find a place to bring down the
ward? So if I haven't seen anything in this office that looked like it was the control to that ward, I'll probably let myself into that next room.
Okay.
Just to carefully see if that's probably where the ward would be, since it's sort of the employee location.
Okay. So you go in. There's this back room. Like I said, there's like a very large safe or a very small vault.
Okay,
that way you want to think of it. A bunch of file cabinets, but then there is also this single sort of clay plate about the size of your hand, and it hangs from a chain, and it has a rune on it.
Nice.
And you think that might possibly be an activator and deactivator.
Okay. I'm not sure if there's anything special I can do to try to use it. I may take this moment to describe it and come back and tell you guys in case you have any advice. You're a maker. Do you know what kind of object these seals are?
I have a level in understanding, assessing, and identifying materials. So if you describe it, I might. Although I'm sure it's harder without actually being able to see it, right?
Touch it.
If it's suspended by a chain, maybe if you just take it off the chain and set it down, that would do it. That's my guess.
Or it's a pull chain, right?
Or do I have any insight from my weaver knowledge of magic that lies outside normal codified practices?
No, this sounds like a normal. This sounds more like a straightforward kind of
it and see what
ritual.
All right, I'll tell Kenan. Should I try to pull it? Is that as good an idea?
Sounds good to me.
All right, I'm gonna go back.
You're the one in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they won't notice you if you screw it up, right? Because of your.
Well, probably. Unless there's a way to make it worse, right? Okay, but I'm going to try really hard not to. So I'll go back in there, and I'm going to sort of like touch it and feel whether it seems to be something that I can lift off of that chain, or whether it's like a pull chain. Before I pull it, I'm going to just try to ascertain the way it wants to go. When I touch it, does anything happen?
Yes. All you had to do was touch it.
Oh, God.
We're nothing
And
like
so,
overthinking.
Yeah, I know.
She's in there and investigating it, but outside where you guys are, Kendall says, "Oh, Ward's gone." She walks right in.
Great.
The Cicatrix, man, she knows what's going on.
Maybe there's something about this order of home thought.
Oh, don't encourage her.
Okay.
All right. And so she just makes a beeline for the
I
vault.
bet she does.
Are we going to leave her to it, or do we want to
Well, you know,
watch it?
what if... boy, I can't believe I'm saying this.
Yes.
It's possible that there's something in there that we could use, but then we would return it, right? But we could use it to help us accomplish
true.
our goal.
You know,
we know how to get
If
in.
we all make a claim to something, we could return all the things that we claim,
Right.
if we wanted to do that.
We will return all the things we claim.
All right.
Why would
We
you
will.
return the things? What are you
I thought
talking
she'd
about?
already made a beeline.
She calls back from the
She's
other
got good
room.
hearing, I see.
We're just borrowing them.
So,
Yeah, let's go take a look.
let's
She says,
leading us down
"I don't
a
know
wicked
who I have hooked myself up with."
we're a curious manner of thieves, I suppose.
We're not
Or thief
thieves.
curious.
That's the problem.
Curious. Thank you.
Thieves curious.
And does Kendon, if I show her the key that I didn't use for that back area,
right.
does that match up with what she knows about that you need a key to get up to the higher level?
She says that's probably the key that'll get the elevator to go
Okay,
to the higher
that's good
levels.
to know.
Yeah.
Great.
All right. So she says, "Well, I can only do this once," and she takes out a little vial, and she just splashes it on the vault door, and the vault door handle just seems to kind of turn of its own accord,
Lovely.
and just opens up.
That is a nice trick.
And so inside, you see a great many mage coins and other.
I better avert my eyes.
You see a pile of crystal orbs and gem orbs, and there's a
Self-help. Who helps himself?
Oh, gosh.
there is a pair of books. And
The return goes, right?
Oh, dear.
and there's a knife.
Ooh.
And there's what appears to be like just a hat, not entirely unlike the kind of cap you're wearing. And she, as soon as that vault door is open, she just grabs the hat.
Interesting.
Oh.
And she then says, and then she'll reach over and grab some of the mage coins and some of the gem orbs, and she says, "Well, that's my share," and she starts walking out.
Jesus.
All right.
You have an angel with us, don't you?
Yep.
Yep.
Who is standing right next to you?
Guard me.
Isn't protesting at all over what's happening here?
It doesn't really.
That's not his job.
Okay.
He's
not super
He's just
aware.
sort of looking off in the distance.
There
We're
we go.
even breaking the angel.
See,
Oh
no
my
evil.
goodness.
That's fine.
So I have a question about my feed upon text skill, which is so I can touch a book and I absorb all the knowledge, but it leaves the book blank.
Right.
Is it possible to sort of can I touch a book and flip through it and see what information is in there before I activate it?
Sure, you
Right?
control
Okay.
your ability.
Okay, then
right?
I would
you don't absorb every book.
I wasn't sure. I didn't want to touch it. So I would like to look through the books and see what information seems to be within those pages.
Okay, one appears to be a book on demonic lore. Things like, the nature of demons and demon names and things
Okay.
like that.
What?
I don't say this. I'm not. It's not.
He can
It's
sniff it
boring.
out,
There's nothing in there. Okay, what about the other one?
And the other one appears to be the text of it appears to be rather sort of a mundane history of some place in Indigo you've never even heard of, but you suspect that the book itself is just really old and valuable, like in and of itself. as a collectible. The knowledge in it doesn't seem to be of particular interest. Probably not why it's in this vault.
Interesting.
So for you, it's like an old sandwich. You could eat it, but you
why?
could get a real fresh sandwich somewhere else.
Or is it like aged wine?
It could be,
or some
like
sort of aged spirit.
Oh man.
I'm trying to convince you to not do this.
And I'm trying to convince her to do
I'm trying to convince myself not. I don't want to do the mundane history because that's just a really nice old book that doesn't give me anything. But the demonic lore is interesting. It could be useful. I wish we knew whether the guardian was a demon or something else.
Do you tell me that there's demonic lore in that book?
No.
Okay.
Not with that look on your face. I'm deciding.
Yeah.
I'm deciding.
So you're going to just ignore all this stuff?
What does the knife look like?
The knife is it's a particularly nicely made blade with the blade itself looks very...
Is it in a sheath? Because I'm not going to touch it. I'm just looking at...
Okay. It is not in a sheath. It's just kind of laying on top of a handkerchief of silk or something.
Does it have any glass on it?
It does not have glass on it. It's got a silvery blade and a beautiful leather wrapped handle, and the device at the end of it looks like a bird, like with its mouth kind of open.
Wow. Can I try to... can I use my maker skills knowledge to see if I can figure out what this does in case it's useful and we can borrow it?
The knife?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
So I have a level in assessing and identifying objects,
Great.
materials. And then I will also use, I'm assuming that this is perception to...
Oh,
Does that seem like the
either
right...
that or intellect? Either one.
I'll use intellect. Why not?
What's your venture then?
2. Just 2. Yeah. I was going to use hidden knowledge, but I'll wait and say that. 8.
Okay. So you think that what this knife does is that it can harm things that would normally be incorporeal, like a ghost.
Wow, that's really tempting to...
Wow.
I will relay this information and leave it hanging in the air.
Why don't we take it with us and we'll return it when we come back? If we don't use
Can
it.
someone else say that? Because Atrix, I adore you, but I don't necessarily trust your...
I think that's fair. We've known each other a long time. I feel like I've given you every bit of data to believe that. So.
All right. Well, that's fine with me either way. But let's.
What do you do?
Let's go on. Let's be on our way. If you want to take the knife,
I will take the knife. I will return it at the end of the day.
All right.
Okay.
I am going to surreptitiously run my finger along the demon lore book as we leave.
Awesome.
And feed upon it?
Yes.
Okay.
I can't resist.
All right.
That's really a rivalry thing. You want that.
That's why she did it.
You're a monster. You're more monsters than me. Let the record say.
Just differently monstrous.
Next time you're like, oh look, it's a book of tips about crafting that I'm just going to burn.
Oh no!
All right. And so you leave behind the pile of mage coins and the...
I'd like to be clear that I'm the last person who leaves because I'm going to reactivate that ward.
Okay.
Unless I should wait until we come back. Yeah, you're right.
Wait, just in case it...
Unless we can't get back.
Because we'd rather reactivate it at the end.
Right, your thing...
Yeah, my defense will...
It's going to take us more than an hour to get through.
I'll wait.
Okay.
And we need to leave the exterior door unlocked.
Did you do have a lot of pockets? I say.
I know.
Yeah. And Kali doesn't say that. Shanna says, you have a lot of pockets.
Yeah, the Cicatrix knows she's probably coming back in here later. So
Okay.
I look at the other stuff, but I don't touch. I'm just going to...
Okay.
Just that sword, which I put in the bucket.
So let's find out what happens as you get on the elevator next time.
All right.
Dang.